Hello, I'm Ather Beg, and I live my life as an enterprise solutions architect here for Gestalt IT. You can find me at Twitter's at Ather Beg. And today I'm here with
Greg Connors. Nice to be here. I'm the VP and CTO for the SD-WAN and SASE business at VMware, and you can find me on Twitter at egregious.
Right. So, Connor, today I'm going to talk to you about your favorite topic, which is cloud gateways. So, first of all, I just wanted to cover with you what are cloud gateways and how do they benefit enterprise customers with their day-to-day connectivity challenges?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's something that VeloCloud, our original company, introduced about 7 years ago and is now part of our VMware SD-WAN offering. So cloud gateways allow users to have a high quality on-ramp to SaaS apps and to other cloud apps like public cloud, IaaS types applications. You know, one of the interesting things about the internet is it's a lot like driving a car in that in the internet, we have these big wide open backbones that are just like the superhighways we have crossing the country. And then in the last mile, there's a lot of congestion and a lot of packet loss and other things that happen. Just like in your neighborhood, that's where all the accidents and the traffic buildup happens. And so what a cloud gateway is, you can think of it like a point that's sitting at the on-ramp to the highway. And what VMware SD-WAN is able to do is to build you a bridge from your house directly to that on-ramp to the highway by doing link steering, by doing error correction, and eliminating those last mile issues. So what we basically do is when you're accessing a cloud application, like Zoom, like Office 365, like AWS, we take your last mile and we exchange it for our last mile at our cloud gateway. That way you always get a high quality on-ramp to those applications.
Yes, and that I think for me, actually, that's the kind of thing that interests me the most about cloud gateways, because in the traditional model, the older model of cloud or networking, enterprise customers, things are changing in the sense of SaaS services, and their expensive link between sites, for example, is being consumed by that as well, using hairpinning. So the link steering side of things is definitely a big benefit for such organizations. So, I mean, that obviously is one of the benefits as well. But, you know, I also wanted to understand a bit more about the benefits that it brings to, say, for example, full mesh VPN connectivity as well between the different sites, because typically you are constrained by the number of connections that a VPN device can manage.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, by having this network of cloud gateways, you can think of it like in a traditional network, you have a hub and spoke network, and you have 1 or 2 data centers that serve as hubs. And you have 2 different ways you can connect your sites. You can either build direct tunnels between each sites in a full mesh, or you have to U-turn through those hubs. And depending on how geographically distributed your enterprise is, that might not be optimal from a latency perspective. In the case of VMware SD-WAN, you have these cloud gateways spread all over the world. You're actually able to use those cloud gateways themselves as a waypoint for you turning that traffic between sites, which means while we can build tunnels directly between sites, just like any other vendor, you also have the ability to, without building additional tunnels, build a full mesh through these gateways, using them to relay the traffic from site to site. So it allows you to do it in a much more latency optimized way. And you're consuming our bandwidth and our gateways. You're not consuming your bandwidth in your data center that's competing against your own traffic.
Exactly. In terms of management also of the service, is it correct that, first of all, I mean, let's talk about the points of presence, for example, or how many regions, for example, or points of presence there are. Also, the management, for example, I believe that there is a SOC as well.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, between our hosted service and our service provider partners, we have more than 100 points of presence around the globe. They're managed either by our own NOC in the case of our hosted service, or by the NOC that our SPs offer. So you're not only getting a high quality access, like we talked about in the cloud gateway section, but something that's monitored 24/7, something that has built-in redundancies, peering relationships, right? All of the goodness that historically folks had to do themselves. You had to build out your own data center. You had to manage your own peering relationships. You had to hire your own NOC to monitor and make sure control plane connectivity never went down. Now you can get a lot of that as a service and not have to invest in those resources yourself in-house.
Yeah, that's I think pretty much it's for me. It seems like there might not be as seamless a service for such functions so far, because I've seen many implementations of SASE where it's mainly appliance based, either yourself or by a vendor. This seems like a very scalable solution to me. So I it's hard to find another solution that I've heard of which can compete at similar level.
Yeah, no, thanks. I think we're very proud of what we built. But one thing that I do want to call out, and I call this out every time I talk about SASE, is that, SASE is positioned as a single vendor solution, everything under a single pane of glass. That's not going to be the right solution for every customer. So we are also committed to continuing to build on the gateway as an on-ramp to other clouds, this network of cloud story that we have. If you want to use your existing security provider, if you want to pick and choose which parts you get from which vendor, the other thing you should be looking for is not just how does the vendor's comprehensive SASE story work, but how does it work if I want to change one piece, right? You want to make sure you maintain that flexibility in your solution so that as your business evolves and as your needs evolve, the vendor can move with you.
Of course, I mean, lock-in is one of the prime concerns of many customers that I also see in the field. So we started with Cloud Gateway. We moved to SASE, which is the today hot technology. Let's think about what's coming in the future. So after this, what's next?
So I think, we announced at VMworld Edge Network Intelligence. And I think to me, what's next in networking is the expansion of AI and ML and how we bring that into technology. So for instance, SD-WAN was able to solve a lot of problems in the last mile with error correction and link steering. A lot of the things that network admins, we classically had to deal with QoS settings, right? Failover settings. Those are relics of the past now, thanks to SD-WAN. And so what we're looking at is, what are the things that IT staff are still dealing with? And how can we leverage technology like machine learning to identify and remediate areas beyond simple last mile WAN issues? So Wi-Fi issues, switch issues, misconfigurations, right? Reporting application problems proactively and pinpointing where they're occurring. That's really the next frontier for us. And that's where a lot of our innovation effort is going to now, beyond SASE.
Well, Craig, thank you very much for having this chat, an informative chat with me about cloud gateways, the today, and even the future that's coming. So really enjoyed that talk with you.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to be here. And always great to chat about future technology.
Cheers.